Okay, so on today's agenda, the first worksheet says voice in night, right? It's gonna look like this when you open it up, right? Voice and choice of narrator in night, in chapter 4, pages 47 to 65. Okay, everybody got that up? Now, this is point of view. Night is narrated by Elie Wiesel as he looks back into his past at his experiences during the Holocaust. Because the historical novel is written from a first-person point of view, what impact does the choice of narrator have on the reader, right? So you have to think about that. The fact that it's a person who went through it is telling in first person, what impact does that have on you? Does it somehow make the story more believable? A little bit, right? Like I was there, I lived it. That changes the dynamic of the story, right? I didn't witness this secondhand. I didn't read about it. I was actually there. Okay. Tone, as you should remember, tone is the sound of an author or character's voice, which reflects their attitude. Tone is author's attitude. Okay. You'll need a list of tone words below to complete the following activities. So you have a bunch of words here. Okay. If you don't know what any of these words mean, look them up before you write them down. Most of them you probably do know what they mean. Directions. It says complete the following chart as you read chapter 4. So we're down here at the section with the boxes. Okay. On the left it says evidence. On the right it says tone. In the evidence box it says select a piece of evidence, a couple sentences of the text that is written from the first person point of view. A piece of narration written from Elie Wiesel's perspective. The good thing is the entire book is written from his perspective. So anything that you pull out will qualify as evidence. Right? Everything in there is from his perspective. On the right, it asks you for the tone. Name the tone, the attitude reflected in this piece of evidence. Also describe how specific words in this piece of evidence prove and support the tone you chose. So, it says chose, it should say chosen. When you pick out a tone, let's say you say the tone is melancholy. What is the meaning of melancholy? Anybody? Anybody know? You know that term? Melancholy? Melancholy means sad, right? Sad. So if you were to say the tone in a particular piece, whatever you pulled out was melancholy, you would write melancholy. Then you have to give me something from it that proves that it's melancholy, right? Describe how specific words in this piece of evidence prove and support the tone you've chosen. Oh, this is melancholy because blah, 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 based upon what you chose. Does that make sense? Okay. It's not enough to just say melancholy. If you do that, I'm going to mark it wrong. You need to give me some proof or your reasoning as to why you chose what you chose. And then, if you scroll down, you'll see that there are two more boxes just like it. Okay? What is... Well, I don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about that next. The last section. It says write a paragraph. Okay? Paragraph means I should see at least 4 or 5 sentences, right? Write a paragraph from the perspective of a German officer following Hitler's leadership during the Holocaust. So you are pretending you are a German officer, right, during the Holocaust. Your paragraph should contain at least 5 sentences that reflect a specific tone word from the list on the front of this handout. Tone of my paragraph will be. So you have to pick up what your tone is going to be. If for example, you chose melancholy and you say your paragraph is going to be sad, that's going to be the attitude you have, then what you say should sound sad. You shouldn't be overjoyed that you're killing Jews by the dozens, right? Include 3 vocabulary words from the chapter, right? You can choose whatever 3 you want, okay? They're on there. You know what they mean? Just look them up real quick. Google them real quick. Okay. When you include your vocabulary word, underline it so I make sure that it's in there. Okay. Questions about that? It's real simple. I did want to ask you, what is going on with Elie and God at this point? What is his relationship like with God? Initially, right? The book opens with him being in the synagogue all the time, praying, right? Wanting to learn more about Jewish mysticism. What has happened to that relationship as he's entered the camp? It's what? It's uncertain, right? It's uncertain. And the thing is, there's a line somewhere in the book, maybe in chapter 2 or 3, where he talks about how, everybody's, praising God or, praying to God, and he just asked, why should I be doing this, right? Why should I praise him given my current circumstances, right? I see everything that's going on around me. Why should I praise him? There's another line in chapter 4 where someone, I don't think it's Eli, I think it's his father or another inmate, and they say, where is God? Like, where is God? Right? Based on everything that's going on. Okay. Okay. So that's that. That's the first. Let's look at the second one. So the next thing on the agenda, go ahead and scroll down a little bit. The next one is just a vocab sheet. You've done these before. If you did it on chapter 2 and 3, very basic. It gives you 7 vocab words, 7 sentences at the top. Each one is bolded, right? Just write what you think the meaning of the word is. And the bottom section is a matching section. Don't do the lines, okay? Just put the proper letter next to it. So, number 1 is lamentation. If you think that lamentation is, G or something like that, then just put G there. Understood? After lamentation. All right, easy money. It should be easy. Any questions about any of that? Very straightforward. Okay, that's all I got for you today.